Hello everyone. In a previous class or in a video, we have covered the maximal a posterior hypothesis and a consistent learner. So, whenever a hypothesis is said to be a consistent learner, if every hypothesis that is equal to target function 1, or if a hypothesis h of P of h is equal to the target concept is equal to 1, then we said to be a consistent learner. If a hypothesis is said to be a consistent learner, if it is output is a 1. So, in a previous classes we have studied about maximally a posterior hypothesis. Now, let us look at the Bayesian analysis can sometimes be used to show that a particular learning algorithm outputs a maximally a posterior hypothesis, even though it may not explicitly uses the Bayes rule. Now, let us consider the problem of learning continuous valued target function, such as when you consider a neural network or a linear regression or a polynomial curve fitting. It is all going to learn the target valued function. But when it comes to the Bayesian learning, a straightforward Bayesian analysis will show that under certain assumption, any learning algorithm that is going to minimizes the squared error between the output hypothesis prediction and the training data will obtain a maximally likelihood hypothesis. So, here what happens? We try to minimize the error between the target value compared with the prediction value. So, now before moving to certain assumptions and notation, let us look at this diagram. This diagram is going to show pictorially the learning a real valued function. The target function f corresponds to the solid line. The solid line which has been representing in this diagram is a target function. The training example xi and di are assumed to have a normally distributed noise of error e. Ei is a one where it has got introduced for the solid line ei with a 0 mean added to the target value f of xi. But when the dashed line, when you look at the dashed line corresponds to the linear function that minimizes the sum of the squared error. So, therefore, it is maximizing the likelihood hypothesis HML given these 5 training examples. See, when you look at this diagram, you can easily say that there are points are being present. So, there are 5 points are being represented. Those 5 points are representing a hypothesis point, where that solid line where it is trying to say that is a target function, but maximal likelihood line is tried to minimizes the error and then it tries to find out the value with the minimum error of hypothesis. That is why which we call it as a HML, that is a hypothesis which a maximally likelihood or maximally it is being representing a predicted value, means it is similar to that of a target value which is required. Now, let us look at a algorithm. Algorithm is acting like a learner. So, what are the assumptions must be made to the learner? The algorithm must be learn the particular concept and then it should predict the target value based on the training example. So, training example is going to train the algorithm. So, let us consider few notations. Learner L is being considered, learner is a algorithm, learner L is going to consider an instance space x and a hypothesis space h consisting of sum of class of a real valued functions defined over a x for all of hypothesis small h, that is belongs to the capital H, and where H is going to be represent, it is consisting of a instance space X and with a real valued R. And a training example of the form Xi and Di, where Xi is going to representing a instances, or it can be a training example, where Di is a target value with respect to the training example. The problem faced by learner is to learn an unknown target function, that is f is equal to f tends to x r, where f the target function. A set of m training example is provided where the target value of each example is corrupted by a random noise drawn according to the normal probability distribution with a zero mean. That is, the few example while training in a set of m training examples, few training examples are error free, whereas the few training examples were contained few noise. So, when the noise has got introduced to the certain training example, then we are going to represent that one is Di is equal to f of xi few target function which contains the error ei. The each training example where I said it contains the pair form of xi comma Di, where Di is a target function. If the target function is a error free, that will be indicated as f of x. If the training example, if it contains the error in the target function, that the ei is going to be introduced. So, in a large set of data where we can expect few error training examples are also present. Okay, it is assumed that the values of ei are drawn independently and that they are distributed according to the normal distribution with a zero mean. Task of the learner or the task of the algorithm is to output a maximal likelihood hypothesis or a maximally a posterior hypothesis, assuming all hypotheses are equally probable a priori. Now let us know why the hypothesis that should minimize the sum of squared errors in this setting is also a maximum likelihood hypothesis. We should try to minimize the sum of squared error while generating the hypothesis. So, before moving to this particular maximally likelihood hypothesis, now let us look at a few basic concepts. The few basic concept which is required here is the probability theory. We should understand the probability theory, that is the probability density and normal distribution. When we are discussing continuous variables, we need to understand where the error is got introduced, or that is what the probability density. We should understand the probability density. So, the total probability over all possible values of the random variable to sum to 1. In the case of continuous variable, we cannot achieve this by assigning a finite probability of each of the infinite set of possible values for the random variable. So because of that reason, we should know the probability density for the continuous variable such as E and require that the integral of this probability density over all possible values will be equal to 1. In general, we can represent the probability density with a lowercase p. Probability density p of x naught is the limit of as epsilon goes to 0. Now let us look at the x value will varies between the interval of the x naught to x naught plus epsilon. So now this is the function, that is a probability density function. So probability density function where the p of x naught is the limit as epsilon goes to 0, where 1 by epsilon, limit 1 by epsilon times the probability that the x is going to varies between the x naught and x naught plus epsilon. The second one here is random noise variable E is when it is generated by a normal distribution. So we can say that normal probability distribution is a smooth and like a bell shaped distribution that is completely characterized by the mean and standard deviation, or we can call it variance. These two are the basic concepts which is required to understand the maximum likelihood hypothesis. Knowing this background, let us move on to the maximum likelihood hypothesis. Consider the earlier definition of maximum likelihood hypothesis by using a lowercase p for the probability density. Let us consider this equation. H of ml, when you look at this equation, HML is indicating the hypothesis for the maximally likelihood. So is equal to argmax, where the small h belongs to the capital H, P of t given h. We know that it's a x is indicating a set of training example or a set of instances, and the D, capital D is representing a sequence of target values where D is equal to D1, D2, Dm, where Di from D, where few D introducing a error that is represented by Di is equal to f of xi plus ai. Assuming the training examples are mutually independent given h, we can write P of D given h as HML is equal to argmax, h belongs to h, like summation I is equal to 1 to m small p, that is probability density, small p given of Di to h, where Di I is representing 1 to m, that is a target value. A few error is got introduced. So the given the noise Ei is going to obey a normal distribution with a 0 mean and unknown variance sigma square. So each Di must also obey normal distribution around the true target value f of xi. So because we are writing the expression for P of D given h, we assume that h is a correct description of a function f. So when we are representing it as a correct description, during that time we should assume that mean is equal to f of xi, that is equal to h of xi. So by rewriting the above equation, we can write it as HML is equal to argmax, where H belongs to capital H, summation of, that is a product of these value, that is a product of I is equal to 1 to m 1 divided by square root of 2 pi sigma square e to the power of minus 1 by 2 sigma square into di minus mu the whole square, mean by h of xi. So, we got the equation as HML is equal to argmax H belongs to H, product of I is equal to 1 to m 1 divided by square root of 2 pi sigma square e to the power of minus 1 by 2 sigma square into d minus h of xi the whole square. So, maximizing the less complicated logarithmic, which is justified because of the monotonicity of a function p, we can rewrite this equation as, by using mathematical monotonicity, we can rewrite it as HML is equal to argmax H belongs to H, summation of I is equal to 1 to m logarithmic function ln 1 divided by square root of 2 pi sigma square minus 1 divided by 2 sigma square into di minus h of xi the whole square. So, the first term in this expression is a constant and it is independent of h. So, we can discard it from the equation. Now, we have got the equation HML is equal to argmax H belongs to H, sigma I is equal to 1 to m minus 1 divided by 2 sigma square multiplied by di minus h of xi the whole square. So, by this equation we can say that maximizing the negativity quantity that will be equivalent to minimizing the corresponding positive quantity. Rewriting the equation, HML is equal to arg minimizing H belongs to H, summation of I is equal to 1 to m 1 divided by 2 sigma square multiplied by di minus h of xi the whole square. So, finally what we can do is we can discard the constant that is independent of h, and then we can write it as HML is equal to arg mini H belongs to H, summation I is equal to 1 to m di minus h xi the whole square. So, by this equation we can show that the maximum likelihood hypothesis HML is the one that minimizes the sum of the squared errors between the observed training example values, that is di, and the hypothesis which has got predicted, that is predicted value of h of xi. The maximum likelihood hypothesis for predicting probabilities. See what happens, the target value which is predicted by the learner or an algorithm must match with the target value. So, you should have to consider the setting in which we wish to learn a non-deterministic or a probabilistic function f of x tends to 0 or 1 for a two discrete output values. So, where the function approximation whose output is the probability that f of x is equal to 1. In other words, we can say that the target value or a target function where for each particular instances is going to derive either 0 or 1. That is hypothesis in a hypothesis space, where such that f dash of x, that is a function which is going to be for the unobserved training value, that also must be equivalent to probability of a function f of x that is equal to 0. So, for that reason, how we can learn the function f dash using a neural network. See, when we come across a neural network is going to address the continuous value, but whereas the Bayes theorem or when you come across a decision tree, it is going to address a binary classification. So, here how this is going to be f dash can be done by using a neural network. So, use of a brute force y would be the first to collect the observed frequency of ones and zeros for each possible value of x, and to train the neural network to output the target frequency for each x. That is the main that is the one how we can solve this particular problem by using the neural network also. Only thing is, we should train up the neural network in such a way that we should collect all the training examples and train up the neural network with giving the ones and zeros of a target value, and then we are going to obtain the proper output, and the neural network will learn the training example, learn through the training example. Now, if the f dash function must work properly, so we need to how we can optimize the f dash function to the maximal likelihood hypothesis. What setting we have to make, which type of notations we are going to use. So, these are the few notations must be used to address the f dash. So, the first we need to have the expression of probability of a d given h, and next along with this the few notation which you already know regarding the data set or a training data. D is in the form of a d is equal to x1 d1 to xm dm, where di is the observed target value, either it can be a 0 or 1 for a respective f of xi. Both xi and di are the random variables, and assuming that each training example is drawn independently. So, we can write the p of d given h as p of d given h is equal to product of I is equal to 1 to m p of xi comma di given h. That is considered as a first equation. Next, apply the product rule. So, when you apply the product rule, we are obtaining p of d given h is equal to product of I is equal to 1 to m p of d given hi h comma xi into probability of training example xi. So, the probability of di h comma xi can be written as if h of hypothesis for a particular training example is equal to 1, where h of xi if di is equal to 1. If di is 0, then there is a error is going to be introduced. So, 1 minus h of xi. So, rewrite the above equation. Mathematically, we should manipulate the form as it has been written. So, here p of di given h comma xi is equal to h of xi to the power of di 1 minus into 1 minus h of xi to the power of 1 minus di. Now, substitute like equation number 4, to substitute for a p of di given h comma xi in equation number 5 to obtain this equation, we are going to have P of D given H is equal to product of I is equal to 1 to m H of xi to the power of di 1 minus H of xi to the power of 1 minus di into P of xi. So, we by using this overall equation, we can have the maximally likelihood hypothesis, that is HML is equal to argmax H belongs to capital H, product of I is equal to 1 to m H of xi to the power of di 1 minus H of xi to the power of 1 minus di into P of xi. When you look at this equation, the last term is a constant and independent of h. The terms which are constant and independent of x, that can be dropped. So, after dropping that, it is easier to work with this log function of the likelihood, and we are going to have the equation, that is HML is equal to argmax H belongs to capital H summation of I is equal to 1 to m di ln of logarithmic function of H of xi plus 1 minus di logarithmic function ln of 1 minus H of xi. So, this is the equation that is going to describe the quantity that must be maximized in order to obtain the maximum likelihood hypothesis in our current problem setting. So far we have seen how we can maximize the likelihood for the neural network by deriving the f dash for that particular f dash. Now we can also apply a gradient descent search to maximize the likelihood in a neural net. So deriving a weight training rule for a neural network, learning that seeks to maximize the g of h comma d using a gradient ascent. So gradient of g of h comma d is given vector of partial derivative of g of h comma d with respect to the various network weights that define the hypothesis h represented by the learned network. So, by having the partial derivatives of g of h comma d with respect to the weight w j k, you know weight in a neural network we keep on updating a weight. So, that weight from the input unit to the jth unit, that is input is a kth unit to the jth unit. Let us consider this equation. Now, let us have the partial derivative of a gradient search to maximize the likelihood in a neural net. Let us consider this partial derivatives of g of h d divided by with respect to the weight. With respect to the weight here is w j k, that is from the kth unit to jth unit is equal to summation of I is equal to 1 to m with respect to partial derivatives of del g of h comma d divided by del of h x I into del of h x I divided by del of w j k. After having the partial derivatives, we are obtaining the equation in this form, that is summation of I is equal to 1 to m del of di ln h x I plus 1 minus di into ln of 1 minus h of x I that divided by del of h of x I. What we are supposed to do is the complete g of h comma d is replaced by the maximum likelihood equation. So, by placing that maximum likelihood equation, we are going to have this particular part. I multiplied by del of h of x j divided by del of w j k. With this partial derivatives, the equation 1 we obtained here is summation of I is equal to 1 to m d minus h of x I divided by h of xi into 1 minus h of xi multiplied by h of del of h of xi divided by del of wjk. We are constructed the neural network using a single layer of a sigmoid units. Then we can rewrite the equation 1 as del of h of xj by del of wjk can be written as sigma dash xi into xijk is equal to h of xi into 1 minus h of xi into xijk. So, where xijk is the kth input to the jth for the ith training example, and d of x is the derivative of the sigmoid squashing function. So, finally, substituting this particular part in the equation number 1, we can obtain a expression for the derivatives that constitute the gradient. So, gradient del partial derivative of GHD divided by del of WJK can be rewritten as summation of I is equal to 1 to m di minus h of xi overall multiplied with the xijk. Because we obtain the maximize rather than the minimize p of d given h, we perform the gradient ascent rather than the gradient descent search. So, on each iteration of the search, the weight vector is adjusted in the direction of the gradient. So, using this update rule, as you all know, in the network class we are studied about the update rule. So, in a update rule we are supposed to learn in a neural network in a back propagation algorithm. So, that according to this wjk is equal to wjk plus delta wjk, where delta wjk is equal to nu, that is a learning rate, summation I is equal to 1 to m multiplied by di minus h of xi whole multiplied by the xijk. So, from this equation we can obtain a value, that is maximally likelihood hypothesis, by having a gradient ascent search instead of having a gradient descent search. Thank you.